Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, getting back to doing wrestling reviews, getting back to doing my favorite promotion, wrestling reviews, GCW. Back in 2023 and 2024, I think I reviewed every single show for GCW, and so I want to get back there here in 2026. So we're going to start it off with GCW Do or Die. This is that New Year's Eve show. Finished watching it yesterday. Great show, top to bottom. There's just something that hits a little bit different about GCW. Been a fan of it since 2000, and if you go on Robert Sports Show on YouTube, go on the main channel where all the playlists are, and if you scroll down, there's going to be a playlist of the reviews of GCW I had done last year in 2025, not many, 4 of them. And then below that, there's going to be GCW Best Matches. I have done every year since 2000 the best of GCW. I'm going to continue that for 2025. I'm going to do the best of 2025 probably the next day or two. Probably get that up before I get the one night only review up. So I just wanted to review this show because I watched it and kind of enjoyed the hell out of it. But yeah, so you can go back and look at some of the history of GCW in reviews here and best matches that I've done. So we're going to continue the reviews here with Do or Die. First match at Do or Die was a death match. Vipress taking on Emersyn, Jayne. The stats of this match, 14 minutes and 16 seconds. 2 of the top independent women wrestlers. 2 of the top deathmatch wrestlers. Emersyn Jayne throws Vipress into the wall by the merch table, so they're fighting all over the arena. Vipress had a beer. I mean, literally, they're fighting by the merch table. They go over to the bar. Vipress gets a beer, has a drink, freaking suplexes Emersyn Jayne on the freaking wood floor. They fight their way back to the ring. There's a chair kind of set up within the ring. Jayne goes to throw it. Vipress goes to throw Jayne in there. She blocks it before she ran into the chair. Ends up freaking throwing Vipress to the floor. Vipress is using the chair on the floor. Emersyn Jayne's hitting a freaking destroyer. Jayne hits this freaking shit throwing stuff on the floor. Jayne's doing freaking moonsaults. Vipress goes to the back and requests a pane of glass. Now, nothing hits harder in a death match than glass. And some people watch these matches, and it's happened on a few national shows where somebody used glass and people lost their freaking mind, and some wimpy ass dude who freaking returned to a major company recently complained when somebody used real glass versus fake glass when that person wasn't even in the match. Don't bitch about what other people do. Let other people do what they do. Just don't do it yourself, kind of deal. So they bring this pane of glass out, set it on 2 chairs. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a 6 spot. Fully expecting Emersyn Jayne to powerbomb Vipress through this glass. Unfortunately, when Jayne comes down, she actually puts her foot through the glass. Glass shatters, and then she does a sunset flip and powerbombs Vipress into the glass laying on the mat. Don't know if it was a shit, I stepped on the glass and broke it, let's pivot, or if that was the original plan, but it still looked kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Vipress ended up doing a Death Valley driver through a door to get the victory. I'm going to note something here, and of watching I watch all wrestling and GCW, all of it. The blood matches don't bother me at all. Sometimes there's excessive amount of blood, and sometimes there's not. This is one of those matches we had doors involved, we had chairs involved. Well, I thought there was barbed wire out there, if I remember correctly. And we had this glass table, a piece of glass involved. There wasn't much blood. I know a lot of these different athletic commissions have certain limits on things that can be done. And that's what I like about the main home of GCW. They can do that. And that's like when NGI is in different places, it's like you kind of worry, okay, is that athletic commission going to censor how much death matches we can have, how much blood we can have, how much of this we can do, or is it going to be wide open? Look like I think we're at the Mecca here. I think that's pretty one of those. They're in Ridgeland Park. It's not the normal home, but it's kind of the secondary home. So I think New Jersey's good with what we do, but there wasn't a lot of blood there. So I thought that was kind of interesting note for me as I'm watching the show. Next up, we had Jimmy Lloyd versus Don Freeze. I'm liking that Jimmy Lloyd is not the freaking stooge with Matt Cardone again. We have Jimmy fucking Lloyd back. But yeah, Jimmy Lloyd climbing a rope and falling. That was kind of the bright side of this match. It wasn't a bad match, don't get me wrong, but that was kind of funny when you go up to miss the moonsault. And then they ended up doing a Spanish fly. These two big guys doing Spanish flies is freaking epic. It was one of those matches where, as you're watching, it's like, this is cool, but there was no just, oh my god, this moment. Oh my god, this moment. I ended up giving it a 3-star with Don Freeze getting the victory. Same way with the next match, 6-man tag. We had, and that match lasted 5 minutes and 54 seconds. Next up, we had a 6-man tag, which lasted 9 minutes exactly. We had Bustah and the Brain, Alec, Pryce, Jordan Oliver teaming up with Ryan O'Neal, taking on the long-lost brothers of Juni, Underwood, Ricky Pryce, and Troy Locke. Just a standard good 6-man tag with 6 guys who like to fly around. I give it 3 1/4. Alec Pryce, Jordan Oliver, two of my favorite wrestlers in GCW and on the Indies. I am mind blown that neither one of these guys have ever been ID'd by WWE, part of that WID program. You would think, I mean, to me, when I see Jordan Oliver, the first thing I think of is a young Will Ospreay. And Alec Pryce is just kind of that same mold even. It's like, I just don't get it why some of the guys that WID has done, and these two guys aren't, unless they told them no, I just don't understand it. But I'm glad they haven't. I'm glad they can go anywhere they want. I love seeing these guys showing up in Ring of Honor. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. So hopefully we get more of that from in the coming year. Two of the top young talents out there, like Pryce and Jordan Oliver. Bustah and the Bergen, the GCW Tag Team Champions. Next up, we had one called Manders and Zachary Wentz. This was a very physical match. This was that just two different styles of going head to head. Watching them do their thing and good at it. You know, Zachary Wentz putting on Manders' chaps when he first comes out. That looked weird. But yeah, two very talented guys. I'm glad to see Zachary Wentz back on the Indies. One called Manders. He's been all over the world winning titles. Great little match here. I ended up giving it 3 1/4. But just the big old lariat that one Manders called Manders hit on Wentz to win it. 13 minutes and 35 seconds was pretty epic. Next up, we had a 6-man tag team at deathmatch. Some of the best deathmatch wrestlers in professional wrestling. Ciclope, Dr. Redacted, Matt Tremont, taking on Vandal 48 of Atticus Cogar, Christian Napier, and Otis Cogar. Wow. When your match starts off with two guys fighting with gusset plates and just sticking them in each other's forehead, Matt Tremont and Otis Cogar, you know it's going to be a little bloody. You know it's going to be pretty good. Dr. Redacted got stuck in the barbed wire. They had a barbed wire chair they had stuck in the corner, and Dr. Redacted got a scrub stuck in the barbed wire. So it up a 3-on-1, beating him with chairs. But having barbed wire chairs out there, it was just a little violent, a little fun. 8 minutes and 42 seconds. These 6 gentlemen just went out there and I think tore it down. I give it 3 1/4. With Otis pinning Dr. Redacted at the end there to get the victory for Vandal 48. We can all agree we hate Otis Cogar as GCW champion. It belongs with Effy. But, we'll talk about that when we get to the Do or Die Rumble, because there were some interesting things that happened there if you didn't see the show. Next up, we had Ray Jazz taking on Azrieal. This is a good little fun match. Ray Jazz, kind of that northeast territory. And I've talked about this on some other videos. You got a bunch of different companies from Maine through Massachusetts, that little corridor of the United States, and even down in New Jersey, New York, and stuff. And Ray Jazz is one of those guys where that's his kind of home territory. He'll go around the country a little bit, but seeing Ray Jazz in a company like GCW taking on Azrieal, pretty fun match. 7 minutes and 36 seconds. I ended up giving the match 3 stars with Ray Jazz getting the victory. Next up, we had a Bergen County street fight. Joey Janela, the bad boy, taking on, as MLJ would say it, KJ Orso. Obviously, we know the history there with KJ Orso. And what was his name prior to this name? Oh yeah, Friggle del Sol, this fun-loving character turned into this just idiot asshole, KJ Orso, and just turning on his best friend Sam Stackhouse, turning on everybody that ever did anything for him, and now we get this heel kind of ignorant asshole that everybody, As soon as the match starts, KJ throws Janela into the chairs, like 5 rows deep. We had doors and tables and trash cans out there in the ring. KJ went to stomp on a barbed wire chair with Joey Janela around Joey Janela's neck. Thankfully, he didn't end up getting it, and Joey got out of it. But it was like, oh, that's kind of sick. But yeah, this is kind of the two kind of fighters here, just taking to one another. Unfortunately, 26 minutes and 23 seconds. KJ Orso got the victory. I love how MLJ does that every time, because he hates KJ Orso, because Orso's been tormenting MLJ. But watch how happy MLJ gets when Orso gets eliminated from Rumbles or loses, and how just like KJ Orso won. I even gave the match 3.5. It was a fun little match. Next up, we had Yaki and Griffin McCoy. To me, it was just a standard match that I enjoyed. 11 minutes and 8 seconds. I give it 3.25 star with Yaki getting the victory. Next up, we had the Do or Die Rumble. These Rumbles, unlike the Royal Rumble, where exactly a certain time people come out, it was pretty much the two started was Effy and Ryan O'Neal was the first two that started. And then people came out just at different times. Sometimes you had a tag team, sometimes it was one-on-one. Ended up in the match all together was Otis Cogar, one called Manders, Alec Pryce, Charlie Tiger, Christian Napier, Ciclope, Don Freeze, Dr. Redacted, who come out covered in blood. Effy, Grim Reefer, got 11 Grim comes out. Little Smokey, Jazzy Yang, yes, Jimmy Wang Yang's daughter. Jimmy Lloyd, Jordan Oliver, JP Grayson, KJ Orso, Ryan O'Neal, Slade, Sleepy Ed, Yaki, Vipress, and Zach Thomas were the contenders. Slade, when he came out, he just started eliminating people. Then he eliminated 4 minutes 53 seconds was the first elimination. And then we had Effy eliminate JP Grayson, Vipress eliminated, and then we had Alec Pryce and Jordan Oliver come out, like boom boom. They come out, and then we had Charlie Tiger come out. Well, Charlie Tiger was part of a little faction with Jordan Oliver called Young Dumb, and Broke. Well, when Jordan Oliver got hurt, when he came back from getting hurt, he came back because I can picture him. Alec Pryce's partner got hurt. Can't think of his name right now. Anyway, he got hurt, so he came back to tag team with him. So they kind of pushed the Young, Dumb, and Broke stuff aside. Well, every once in a while they kind of get involved with each other. So Charlie Tiger comes out there, and he's helping Pryce and Oliver. They're celebrating together. They're beating on Effy. They're eliminating people. They ended up eliminating Zach Thomas. Well, Charlie Tiger was standing next to the ropes, and the Bustah and the Bergen, you basically used him and then abused him and eliminated him. So I love when factions do that kind of stuff. It's like they'll use one another to beat up somebody, then they'll eliminate him. And so we get down to Effy, Manders, Otis Cogar, and KJ Orso. Manders eliminated Napier. Effy eliminated KJ Orso, so it's come down to one call Manders and Otis Cogar. Effy went over and got on commentary, which obviously cheering for his buddy Manders. Effy was like, if I can't win, I want Manders to win. We did not want Otis Cogar to win. Napier comes out and gets on the ringside. Effy came back down the ringside, got rid of Christian Napier, pulls the rope down to help Manders eliminate Otis Cogar. Unfortunately, in the meanwhile, Otis Cogar spins Manders around, and Manders gets eliminated because Effy was trying to help. So I think there's going to be some stuff there with Effy and Manders, which we've seen before, which I'm all good with. They're like those two friends that'll help one another, but they also fight one another. Now, the winner of this was the #1 contender for the GCW title. So Otis Cogar, who is part of the Vandal 48 with Atticus Cogar, we were like, especially when this match was over, it's like, oh, great. And of course, Otis gets the mic and goes, Atticus, I'm not going to challenge you for the title. The title's in the family already. So basically, they're holding that GCW title hostage. So they're going to have the finger poke a new match. What are they going to do? Otis Cogar called out the GCW Ultraviolet champion Matt Tremont. So that is set up for Otis is going to use his #1 contender on the Ultraviolet Championship. So we get a Matt Tremont, Otis Cogar for the Ultraviolet Championship match. I just really hope Matt Tremont just annihilates Otis Cogar. I think that's going to be the greatest spot ever. But anyway, that is GCW Do or Die review. C10 Robert Sports Show will get a best of GCW 2025 up before we get to the review of the next GCW show of One Night Only on January 3rd. Expect a review of that up probably, if things go right, I would say right around the 4th or 5th. Typically, I'm going to try to do a couple days, turn around and get time to watch the show and do some other things as I get back into doing more videos. Wanting to kind of get back to the 2023-20 level of videos. So we're going to try to do a best of GCW before that. Maybe not. So we'll see what happens. Definitely we'll have a best of GCW 2025 up. And then we'll get the review of One Night Only up as well. But that is GCW Do or Die. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader. Sports show content.